Greetings of the day to all my dear students. The thought for the day is give up on your frustration, but never give on your hopes. Give up thinking about your setbacks, but never on your goals. Give up worrying about your past, but never on your future. This is Shreya Jadhav welcoming you all to my e-learning channel. And today we are going to learn English Grade 10 Supplementary Reading 8 The Hack Driver, written by Sinclair Lewis. So, before starting with the reading and explanation of the unit, let us go and have a look about the author. Harry Sinclair Lewis was born on February 7, 1885 and died on January 10, 1951. Was an American novelist, short story writer and playwright. In 1930, he became the first writer from the United States to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature. Moving ahead. Introduction for answer. Prose. Prose name The Hack Driver. Author's name Sinclair Lewis. Genre short story. Summary. A young lawyer comes to a village to serve summons on Oliver Lutkins. A friendly hack driver takes him around the village in search of Lutkin. So now moving ahead, we shall go through the summary of the chapter. The narrator was a young lawyer who had graduated with honors and had become a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm. However, instead of being sent to prepare legal briefs, he was sent to serve summons like a cheap private detective. His job was risky because sometimes he even got beaten up. This time he was sent 40 miles away from the city to the town of New Mullen to find a man named Oliver Lutkins to serve him the summons, as he was a witness in a law case but had ignored all letters. The town was not at all sweet and simple as he expected it to be. The streets were rivers of mud and rows of wooden shops, either painted or a sour brown or with hardly paint at all. The only agreeable sight was the delivery man at the station. He was about 40, red-haired, cheerful, and thick about the middle. He was wearing dirty work clothes, but he was friendly. When the lawyer told him he was looking for Lutkins, he said that he had seen him around about an hour ago. The man said that he was Bill Magnuson and that he was a hack driver and a delivery person. His business was called William Magnuson's Fancy Carting and Hacking. He offered to help the narrator look for Lutkins when he told him that he had to catch the afternoon train to the city. Bill offered to drive the narrator around in his hack to the places where Lutkins would be at the cost of $2 an hour. He also told the narrator that Lutkins would never pay money to people he owned. Bill also said that Lutkins owed him 50 cents on a poker game. He also confirmed that Lutkins was not really bad, but it was hard to make him part with his money. He would always run away if people came to ask for money. He informed the narrator that Lutkins liked to play a lot of poker and was good at cheating people. Bill seemed to admire Lutkins' talent for dishonesty. The narrator felt that if Bill had been a policeman, he would have caught Lutkins respectfully and would have jailed him with regret. Bill told the narrator that they should go to Fritz, as Lutkin would usually be found there. But when they went there, Bill went in first and told the narrator to wait. Fritz came and said to Lutkins had been there, but he could have gone to Gustav's for shave. Then they went to Gustav's barber shop. Bill asked Gustav about Lutkins. Gustav informed that he had seen Lutkins walking down the main street. Now Bill told the narrator that perhaps Lutkin had gone to Gray's for a shave. At Gray's shop, they were told that Lutkins was there only few minutes ago. He might have gone to the pool room so they went there, but they could not find him anywhere. Then it was lunchtime and they were hungry. When the narrator offered Bill lunch at a hotel, Bill told him that it would be expensive, but his wife would give them lunch only for $50. Then they went to Wade's Hill and took their lunch. They talked about many things. Bill informed him everything about New Mullen. The narrator ended up by paying Bill for 6 hours, including the lunch money. However, it was Bill's country wisdom which was refreshing to a city boy like the narrator who was sick of the city. He spoke to minister's wife who sang the loudest in the church when she was most in debt. He spoke of the boys who came back from college in fancy clothes and about the lawyer whose wife would never succeed in getting him to put on both a collar and a tie on the same day. Bill was a countryman with a philosophy of simplicity which strengthened the narrator. At last, Bill told the narrator that Lutkins might have heard that somebody was chasing him, so he might have gone hiding at his mother's farmhouse 3 miles north. He also warned him that the mother was a dangerous lady. He told the narrator that once he had taken a truck to her place, and the lady, who was a very tall and bulky, almost took his skin off because he did not carry it carefully. When they reached her house, Bill told her that the narrator wanted to see Lutkins for legal matter. Hearing this, she went into the kitchen and came out with an iron rod, using for stoking the coal in the old stove. She charged towards them and was laughing loudly. They ran away, but as they went around the house, Lutkin was not to be seen. The narrator was dropped by Bill to the station. Next day, the chief at the office was very angry. They needed Lutkins to appear for the case, so they sent a man who knew Lutkins with the narrator. When they reached New Mullen, the narrator saw Bill and Lutkin's mother, and he pointed towards Bill and told the man that he was the one who had helped him to search Lutkins. At this, the man told him that man himself was Lutkins. The narrator was laughed at by Lutkins and his mother, and they told him to take it in good faith and wanted him to meet his neighbors and have coffee there, as they had missed out meeting the narrator when he had first come to the village. So, dear students, this is all about the chapter. Now we shall start with the reading and explanation of the same. Chapter 8. The Hack Driver. A young lawyer comes to a village to serve summons on Oliver Lutkins. A friendly hack driver takes him around the village in the search of Lutkins. Does he find him? Who is Lutkins? After graduating with honors, I became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm. I was sent not to prepare legal briefs but to serve summons. Like a cheap private detective, I had to go to dirty and shadowy corners of the city to seek out my victims. Some of the larger and more self confident ones even beat me up. I hated this unpleasant work, and the side of the city life is revealed to me. I even consider fleeing to my hometown, where I could have been a real lawyer right away without going through this unpleasant training period. So now the narrator is giving us an explanation. He is sharing his experience that after his graduation, he became a junior assistant clerk in a very big law firm. But his work was to know not to prepare the legal briefs, but he was supposed to know find people and serve as a summons, and it looked like that he was a cheap detective officer. He had to go to the shabby areas of the city and villages, and sometimes he was also no beaten up by them, and he hated this a lot. He sometimes considered that no, it was better that he would have settled down in his hometown, then it would be good enough for him to no just be a real lawyer right away and not going through this training period. So I rejoiced one day when they sent me out 40 miles in the country to a town called New Mullen to serve summons on a man called Oliver Lutkins. We needed this man as a witness in a law case, and he had ignored all our letters. When I got to New Mullen, My eager expectations was a sweet and simple country village were severely disappointed. Its streets were rivers of mud with rows of wooden shops, either painted or sour brown or bare of any paint at all. The only agreeable sight about the place was the delivery man at the station. He was about 40, red faced, cheerful, and thick about the middle. His working clothes were dirty and well worn, and he had a friendly manner. He felt you felt at once that he liked people. I told him, to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. So now what happened that all of a sudden the narrator was no very happy that one day he was sent 40 miles away to a country town called as New Mullen, and he was supposed to go over there and he was supposed to find a person whose name was Oliver Lutkins. He This man means particularly that man was a man of witness in some case, and he had ignored all sort of letters and he was not appearing in front of the judiciary. So when he went over there, the narrator thought that the village would be really very good enough, sweet and no simple like a country village, but by actually seeing the sight he was really very disappointed. And no, he considered something like this, that streets were full of mud. There were rows of wooden shops, some were painted, some were half painted, some were not painted at all. And it was only that this one delivery man was a very genuine person who was about 40 of his age and red faced, cheerful, and he was a person who loved people. And that gesture could be felt from the way he greeted. And at that time, the narrator said that he wanted to search a man named Oliver Lutkins. Lutkins, I saw him around here about an hour ago. Hard fellow to catch though, always up to something or other. He's probably trying to start up a poker game in the back of Fritz's shop. I'll tell you, boy, is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? Yes, I want to catch the afternoon train back to the city. I was very important and secret about it. So eventually, what happened? That the hack driver, that delivery man, said that you are searching for Lutkins. He was here only an hour ago, and it is very difficult to know find him because he runs here and there. But probably he would just now be at a poker game, and he would be getting some sort of playing some games. So the delivery man is asking that is there any hurry to search for this man, and at that time the narrator is affirmatively answering, and he is saying that he was supposed to catch the afternoon train and he was supposed to get back to the city. I'll tell you what, I have got a hack. I'll get it out and we can drive around together and find Lutkins. I know most of the places he hangs out. He was so open and friendly that I glowed with the warmth of his affection. I knew, of course, that he wanted the business, but his kindness was real. I was glad the fair money would go to this good fellow. I managed to bargain down to $2 an hour, and then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box on wheels. He remarked, "Well, young man, here's the carriage." And his wild smile made me into an old friend. These villagers are so ready to help a stranger. He had already made it his own task to find Oliver Lutkins for me. So now eventually what happened, that heck driver told that no, if you want I can let you know, because I know most of the places where he usually hangs out, and I'm having a hack also. So it would be very easy for you to search him. And he was the person. The hack driver was so happy, so friendly, that it seemed so that no, he was ready for all sort of no help. And of course he also wanted business. And by bargaining somehow they reached to no $2 an hour, and it was something that was affordable also. He brought one of the hack from his nearby sort of house, and he said with a big smile that please do come and sit. And it looked as if that now uh, it was his task, it was his time to know help and find Oliver Lutkins. The narrator is also no giving good words that all these villagers seems really very helpful, and especially for the strangers. He said, "I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you want to collect some money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody a cent. He still owes me a 50 cents on a poker game. I was full enough to play with him. He's not really bad, but it's hard to make him part with his money. If you try to collect from him in those fancy clothes, he will be suspicious and get away from you. If you want, I will go into Fritz and ask for him, and you can keep out of sight behind me." Now, eventually, what happened? It was something that the hack driver asked that no, are you also over here to get some money from Oliver Lutkins? And the hack driver is sharing his experience that eventually one day he went to play poker with him, and he also owes 50 cents, but still that money is not repaid back to him. It is very difficult to part Oliver Lutkins with his money. And moreover to that, he also told that as you are wearing all these sort of fancy clothes, and as soon as the Oliver will no look at you, he'll get suspicious about it. So it is better that I'll go inside, I'll ask for him, and you can keep a sight outside the area. I loved him for this. By myself, I might have found Lutkins with the hack driver's knowing help. I was sure of getting my man, and took him into my confidence and told him that I wanted to serve the summons at Lutkins, that the man had refused to be a witness when his information would have quickly settled our case. The driver listened earnestly. At the end, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. "Well, we'll give Brother Lutkins a little surprise. Let's start, driver." So now, eventually, what happened? And now the narrator told that no, he had come over here to get him for the summons, as he was a summons in one of the cases. Plenty of letters were also sent to him, but he didn't reply, and he was not present for the case also. As with his witness, the case would have been solved really quickly and easily, but somehow we are still searching for him. Now the hack driver was very consciously and eagerly listening to all the information which was given by the narrator. He laughed and he said that okay, now let us go and visit the brother Lutkins and let's give him a little surprise. Most flocks around here call me Bill or Magnuson. My business is called William Magnuson's Fancy Carting and Hacking. All right, Bill, shall we proceed to Fritz? Yes, Lutkins is just as likely to be there as anywhere. Plays a lot of poker. He's good at deceiving people. Bill seemed to admire Lutkin's talent for dishonesty. I felt that if he had been a policeman, he would have caught Lutkins respectfully and jailed him with regret. Bill led me into Fritz. Have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? Friend of his looking for him, said Bill cheerfully. Fritz looked at me, hiding behind Bill. He hesitated and then admitted, yes, he was in here a little while ago. Guess he's gone over to Gustav's to get a shave. So now, eventually, the hack driver gave his introduction that he was called Bill and what was his business called, and then they reached to Lutkins and Bill was admiring Lutkin's talent for dishonesty. At that time, the narrator thought that no, Bill was supposed to be a policeman and not a hack driver because he was really good at knowing people very well. When they reached over there, Bill asked the Fritz that have you seen Oliver Lutkins today? And he was really very cheerful. And he also added that one of his friends was looking for him. And at that time, Fritz looked behind him and he said that yes, a little while ago he was here, but just now he might have gone to Gustav to get a shave. Well, if he comes in, tell him I'm looking for him. We drove to Gustav's barber shop. Again, Bill went in first and I lingered at the door. He asked not only the Swede but two customers if they had seen Lutkins. The Swede had not. He said angrily, I haven't seen him and don't care to. But if you find him, you can just collect that $35 he owes me. One of the customers thought he had seen Lutkins walking down Main Street, this side of the hotel. So now eventually the narrator and Bill, they both went to Gustav's barber shop, and at that time they saw that Bill again went first inside, and then the narrator was lingering near the door, and not only he asked the barber but also he asked the two customers, and none of them had seen, but one of the customer, he said that he owes me a $35, please tell him to return me back. And moreover to that, one of the customers told that no, Oliver Lutkins was passing through the main street, so you might take a chance over there and look out for him on that way. So dear students, today we are keeping it till here. I hope you all have understood the chapter till here. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. If you still find any doubt or queries, you can comment down in the comment section below. Have a great day.